Sweethearts, happy Monday. This past week, energies have been really, really intense. It was a week of letting go. It was a week of really allowing yourselves to purge and release the past, the pain, the hurt, the stagnation, the ties that was preventing us from moving forward in any way, shape, or form. Now, coming into this week, you're really going to find that the new moon is really going to be that final purging of the past, if you will. This is going to be a very intense, emotional week. But it's going to be an emotional week in a good way. For those that have been stuck in the past, not being able to move on from those past relationships, from that past, I know we belong together, I just have this knowing, I just have this feeling. And you're going to find in those relationships where you've really wanted communication and you haven't had communication, you're going to get that communication. But sweet ones, that communication's going to hurt. Because that communication is going to confront you with everything that you have feared. That communication is going to confront you with all of that inner knowing that you have been shown, you have been guided, but yet did not want to accept, want to acknowledge, really want to embrace. And yet out of this revelation, if you will, is going to come miracles. It's going to come magic. It is going to propel us out of the stagnation. Now, last week leading into this week has been all about literally stepping into your power. It has been about understanding and putting the understanding into your physical presentation of reality. And that you need no one for strength, courage, or input or anything along those lines in order for you to step into your power, to step into the truth of all that you are, to step into knowing that you are in control of your destiny. And, you know, the spiritual journey has been all about taking responsibility back for your life. Humanity has been enslaved for so long that you need somebody else to make a decision for you. You need their input. We have lived our entire lives having others make our decisions for us. For example, how many of you in your marriages, your partnerships, your families, your friendships, your workplace, how many of you have turned around and, honey, what would you like for dinner? Oh, it don't matter, just anything. Or you go out to grab a burger or something and your partner says, what do you want? Oh, whatever, just get me something, it's all right. And we have lived in a society of conformity and uniformity. We are all the same, and yet, sweethearts, we are so very unique. And so this week is really going to enhance that which was released last week, leading you into no longer needing another to define you, to control you. That this whole past year has been about you discovering you. What is it that you like so much? And I made a post video, I don't know, a couple months ago on this very same thing where we have conformed ourselves to like scrambled eggs because that's what the rest of the family liked. And so now you're having to discover and have been discovering and are discovering that you like poached eggs. You don't like scrambled eggs. And you're going to do and eat and be and like and become that which truly is your heart's desire and your soul's and spirit's desire. And so this week leading up to this new moon is a catalyst. This new moon is breaking through the barriers of everything that has been your fear that has held you back in any way, shape, or form. This is a week of really stepping into your power. But in order to step into that power, you've had to walk through those last fires of hell. You've had to, for lack of a better way of putting it, have had to face Isis and Osiris in order to get through them to go through the gates of heaven. And so, now that you've done that, this week is going to be the week of releasing those barriers, unlocking those gates, and swinging them wide open for you. So as much as an emotional week as this is going to be, sweethearts, this is going to be a very liberating week. It's going to be that coming out of the grief of that death and truly opening your arms and welcoming the new in, of going forward, of really allowing yourself to be who you are, and in no way, shape, or form allowing the outside world to dictate your emotions anymore, to control your feelings anymore. You are stepping into the power and the control of yourself. That you control your emotions, that you control the direction of your life, and you no longer need fear to hold you back. And that is a beautiful, beautiful, magical thing, sweethearts. And so, for many of you commenting on my post on Facebook, it's been a very emotional couple days, Linda. It's like, Mama, it's been a very hard day. I feel lost. I'm losing everything. I've lost my job. I've lost my house. I don't know what to do, and I'm really trying to have faith in spirit. Yada, yada, yada. Well, sweet ones, you have to empty your cup in order for your cup to be filled with new. And that's where we're coming into. Last week was literally all about, especially the past 72 hours, 48 hours, 60 hours, depending on each individual, one of you. And you have to be willing to spill your cup. You have to be willing to empty it of the old so you can come into the new and fill that cup up. And that is where you're at this week. And that is what this new moon and the energies of this new moon on Wednesday is really presenting each of us to do that. And so as you go forward, as we come into this week, as much of the emotions that will be triggered and that will be coming up, know that it is leading you to that paradise, to that magical feeling of full freedom within yourself. Now, 2018 is a year of mastering your mastery, of where you're still not stepping into the power of your destiny and controlling your destiny. Now, you're going to find that things will become more graceful, more gentle, and more easy as you go along. You're also going to find, sweet ones, this week is going to be where if you're a feminine, the feminism is really going to start making its appearance back within your vessel versus the masculinity. Now, for a millennium of years, the feminine essence has been trapped in the masculine form. The masculine essence has been trapped in the feminine form. And so now that that walkthrough has taken place, now that we've gone through the inversion and have moved into the Andromedan galaxy, everything has been reverted back to its natural state of being, including the masculine essence has been returned to the masculine form. The feminine essence has been returned to the feminine form. So all of these masculine traits within the feminine, whether it's the physical appearance, you're going to find that your vessels are going to morph more into that voluptuous feminine form. And the masculine is now, instead of being so feminine in its mannerisms, in its appearance, you're going to see that that is going to now fill out into being the more masculine. And the beauty of this is the divine feminine, if you will, for the feminine incarnates, are releasing that ego, are releasing those constraints that have truly kept her in a space of fear of fully opening her heart, not necessarily to another, but to herself. And the divine masculine who has for so long hid his emotions, hid his feelings, let the past control him in this unconsciously or even consciously, kept him back from really truly stepping into his power and being all that he can, of really opening his heart up into to himself and taking control of his destiny versus staying in stuck situations because of guilt, because of shame, because he's afraid that if the world really knew his secrets, that he would be denied, rejected, and abandoned. And the divine masculine is really opening himself up to, if he wants what his heart truly desires, that he has buried within himself so deep, not feeling he was worthy of it, you're going to find that that is going to come out. He's going to start communicating. He is going to open up and really share the good, bad, the ugly, whatever it may be, and he is going to communicate. And that is where a lot of the emotion is going to come in this week. For when the divine masculine opens up that communication, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt the divine feminine in the sense that all that she has feared is going to be presented to her. And how to get through it, Sri Ones, is there's going to be the relief that it wasn't what I heard, but at least it was the communication I needed. And for him, it's going to set the divine masculine's hearts free. It's going to allow him to really have the new start, the new beginning that he has wanted, but he has not been able to get out of the energetic space of stagnation because of obligations, of karmic past ties. And that's a beautiful thing, because it's in the energetic harmonic frequency spaces we are in right now. The feminine has, and when I speak of this, I'm speaking of the within yourself, the masculine feminine within. And of course, what is within will appear without. And so you're really going into a space of, you have surrendered to yourself over and over and over and over again. And now you no longer have to surrender. Now all that surrender is going to manifest on the physical plane of existence. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a truly beautiful thing. I don't know how to really see. Oh, here. Okay. Maybe this will show me. I'm trying to see the messages, but I can't see any comments, sweethearts. I haven't figured that part out yet. So, for all the emotion and everything that has ended, I mean, really ended on the physical plane, losing your job, losing your home, whatever it may be, you know, losing your place of living, and now you have to move someplace else, and that fear, you're really going to step into that, sweet ones. You're no longer going to fear what can happen. You're still going to, You're still going to have those, don't get me wrong. But now they're not going to hold you back. Now you're not going to, the feminine is walking away from everything that no longer serves her. She finally has within herself gotten the courage to say, it's no longer worth it. It's no longer worth it to keep fighting the fear. It's no longer worth it to keep hanging on to the fear. It's no longer worth hanging on to the past. And really, that's what this past week and in the beginning of this week is going to be all about. Is letting go of the past. Finally accepting the fact that it has died. And now you're coming out of the grief of that death, of hanging on to that which is no longer there, no longer available, no longer a part of who and what and you are and where you're going. And that's a beautiful thing, sweethearts. This is going to feel like the freedom you have felt within from your spiritual journey. This is going to feel like the freedom manifesting on the physical plane of existence. And that's, sweethearts, that's a great thing, even if it doesn't feel emotionally great right now. So, know that leading up to this new moon on Wednesday, yes, it's going to be intense. Yes, there is a lot of endings. But those endings is because you're allowing yourself to truly step out of the grief. Step out and away from that death. And really allowing the death of the past to be let go of. You cannot change the past, sweet ones. And you cannot bring the past alive again. And that is really what has been being shown the past 48 hours especially. The amount of you sweethearts who have messaged me, Mama, I don't know what's going on. What do? I don't, and that's what it is. Let it go. And allow yourself to be done grieving. Allow yourself to start living again. And that's what this new moon is really going to do. You're going to have the communication. You're going to have the understanding. You're going to have everything you need to truly step out of the grief of all the deaths that you have repeatedly gone through on your spiritual journey, but especially this past year. And all of this is going to be leading us up to the Leo, the full rare blue moon and full lunar eclipse in Leo on January 31st. Then leading us into the total solar eclipse in Aquarius on the 16th of February, which is a very beautiful thing. We are completing the cube, if you will, on the physical plane of existence. And as we go forward, all of those projects and ideas and this, that, and the other that you have been working on, you're really going to start seeing that come into fruition. You're really going to start seeing all of that stuff excuse me, start manifesting. For example, let me give you an idea. There's very few of you who are aware that for the past, over a year now, I had been working on a plan and a blueprint and in a project of creating and building an Emerald City of Lights here in Texas, a lights community here in Texas. And some other humanitarian projects. There's a lot I do behind the scenes that many of you do not know and are not aware of. And so now I'm in the process of putting together a business plan, and that project is really starting to take off and get off of the ground. and starting to manifest on the physical plane of existence. And so as you go forward and you really leap and take the steps now on what your inner guidance has been and really bring that into the physical, your life is going to change. As within, so without. And as I've been saying, and many others for a while now, everything starts in the others, but we're in a space where it's going to start physically manifesting. And that is where your focus is now going to shift to, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. You're allowing your spirit is pushing you out of the grieving period and saying, let the past go, you no longer need it, and we're no longer going to allow you to dwell in the past and in that grief anymore. That's your spirit. Your spirit is pushing you forward. Now remember, I've said it for a while now, your cosmic heart is leading you, sweet ones. So, regardless of the fear, regardless of the restraints, the restrictions you have placed upon yourself, your heart is leading you. And there's no stopping that. And even if you seemingly think that you have made a wrong decision, there is no right or wrong, sweet ones. It is all steps bringing you to that which you are and I have always been. A divine, multidimensional being of light. Many of you are finding you're starting to remember bits and pieces of your dream time now. And many of you are finding that you're being woke up in the middle of the night and not being able to go back to sleep. That's because in your natural state of being is up before dawn and goes to bed right after the sun sets. That's our natural state. So for those of you who are being woke up and not being able to go back to sleep, this is why. In those early morning hours between 2 and 5, really, that is where your greatest connection to your spirit, to your higher self, to the Creator, to your team, angels, whatever label you need to give it. That is where your connection is the most. And that is where your guidance for your everyday, if you tap into it and really spend that time before your day starts, that is where your guidance comes in. And that is what shows you, okay, here's your synchronicities, here's your messages, here's your signs to propel you forward to take your steps in that day. That is going to become more prevalent for you, for everyone, for all of us. And that's a beautiful thing, sweethearts. So no, if you have been in emotional space these past 48, 60, 72 hours, it was literally propelling you out of that grieving of the repeated deaths that we have gone through this past year, and especially on your spiritual journeys in the past 5 years. Earth has been in a grace period, and that grace period is over. That period of stagnation is over. We are coming out of, well, energetically we already have, but on the physical plane of manifestation of existence, we're coming out of that energetic void. We're coming out of what so many say is the vortex, or this, that, or the other. And so everything now is really going to propel you into knowing that you have the whole support of the universe behind you. Everything is propelling you forward to really leap into the unknown and allow your dreams, even if it seems far-fetched, even if whatever it may be that has kept you in a space of fear, of literally moving forward and taking control of your destiny, you're being pushed out of that. You're in full throttle mode now, and this new moon on Wednesday is really going to assist you with that. It is going to enhance the self-confidence or belief or knowing whatever label you need to put on it, sweet ones. But what it's also going to do is it's setting you free of your own labels, your own beliefs, your own definitions. You're finally taking the paintbrushes and allowing yourself to paint on that blank canvas that has been sitting there and you not knowing what to paint, you not knowing what to do, if you will. And so really allow yourselves to step out of the grief. You're being guided, you're being shown the signs, the messages, everything is right there, sweet ones. And know that you're not alone. You're supported in every moment. And grace has been bestowed. And there is nothing you can do that can be wrong right now. And anything that you start, sweet ones, right now, especially from now to Valentine's Day, anything that you take steps to implement that is for the benefit of all life and Gaia and yourself, that is going to benefit love in and of itself, you're going to find that it is going to have great success for long term. And when I say long term, I'm not talking 6-7 months. I'm talking years. So anything you implement right now with these energies that are so supportive, you cannot fail at, sweet ones. Whether that's starting your own business, whether that is like I'm doing, build an Emerald City community, I can't even talk this morning, an Emerald City of Lights community, and bringing other light workers together into this community, you're really going to find that you cannot fail. It will be supported 1,000%. All you have to do is leap. And that's what these energies are really supporting you to do, is to have that leap of faith. Faith is the truth of the trust you behold, sweethearts. And that trust is in yourself, and that trust is in the Creator. There is no wrong, sweet ones. There is no failure. There is no mistakes. And these energies are proving that to you, if you allow yourself to step out of the grief of the old that you have boxed yourself into. And that's a beautiful thing. So know that even though this is going to be a very emotional week, it's a week of freedom for all of us on the physical plane of existence. And really step into that, sweet ones, and know, if you are losing your job, if you are losing your family, it seems like your world is crumbling, it's because those are the things that you have been hanging on to, that you have not been able to walk away from, that are no longer for your highest good. And even though it may seem devastating on the physical aspect of life, you're going to find that the second you step into the acceptance, rather than the emotional reaction to it, you step into the acceptance. Yes, if I'm really truthful with myself, Spirit has been showing me to change jobs. Spirit's been showing me to change residence. Spirit's been showing me to change locations. But yet, you have allowed the outside world to dictate you that you couldn't do that. You didn't have the money. You didn't have this. You had kids you had to support. You couldn't risk quitting that job, this, that, or the other. You're going to find that everything Spirit has been guiding you to do that you have been too fearful to implement is going to be done for you. And that is the foundations that are crumbling. That is why you're losing your jobs. That is why you're losing your homes. That is why you're losing your vehicle, or this, that, or your relationships, whatever it may be. Because You have allowed yourselves and set yourselves free from the emotional manipulation of fear. You have set yourself free from the emotional manipulations of the past. And that, sweet ones, is truly a magical, magical thing. Because now you're stepping into the knowing, yes, I know I'm free, but now you're implementing that freedom on the physical plane of existence. So allow yourselves to free. Be present with what's arising and know that it's okay. They're just emotions of the fear of that you've chosen to let go of. It's just really allowing yourself to let go of the grief of the death that has already taken place in so many ways. I love you, sweet ones. I'm here for you. You can still message me on Facebook Messenger. Again, I'm not going to be on a whole lot. I am working. I'm really going to dedicate almost every waking moment right now to getting this project off the ground and get everything into place so we can start bringing everybody together into the gathering. And this is where you're going to find we're moving into a space of community living. And I'm not saying, bring everybody into your house. What I'm saying is community. This is where you're going to start gathering with your soul tribes on the physical plane of existence, not just social media. This is where you're going to find that projects are going to come together and you're going to start working hand in hand, and you're literally going to build together on the physical plane of existence. And so as this takes place, sweet ones, know heaven is being delivered to you. It's just a matter of you stepping out of the grief of the death that has taken place. It's you letting go of those things that have died. It's you letting go of the past and allowing yourself to step out of the grief of that past and move on. And that's a beautiful thing, sweethearts. So no, you got this, we got this together, and let's rock this earthship. Let's dance, sweet ones. I love you. Have a great day. And know, life is a miracle. And you are in control of your destiny. And it's being handed to you. So step into it and allow yourself to step into it. Have a great day, sweet ones. I love you. Bye-bye now.